Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm Wood. In this series we're comparing two accounts that I started at the same time on the same day, and I'm playing the same way with one major difference. One account is free to play, the other has a monthly spending budget. It's day 57. Let's check our progress. Hey, thank you for joining me. Day 57 on the free-to-play. The free-to-play we have a bluish-green, greenish-blue border, and the budget account will have no border. Go ahead and collect my 150 gems for day 57. I'm more excited about the epic book and the 150 gems than I am about the Yaga the Insatiable. That's how, yeah, it's interesting. Some of the free champions they give you are really good and can be really useful in a lot of places, and others not so good. So. Champ training tournament. I'm glad this came up. I'm going to go to the calendar here. I got really excited when I learned about this training event, heard about it this morning, and then I looked at the news and I thought, oh man, a chance to get a Maneater. And then I saw that it was level 31 to 50 for Maneater. We're at level 51 and 52 on the free-to-play and the budget account, respectively. So no chance to get a Maneater. It'll be Corgard Deathbell. I would be more excited for some reason about Ugo and Maneater than I would about Corgard Deathbell. And yet most of the players are going to be competing for a Corgard Deathbell. Now I'm not saying he's a bad champion. He's actually really good, but there's very specific uses for Maneater and Ugo that you use all the way through to the end game. And Corgard, there's a lot of end game players that have a Corgard who are not using him at all. I thought we'd just go in here and look at Corgard, look at his skills. He's not one that I'm very familiar with, so this will be a learning experience for me as well. So his A1, attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 10% of their max HP. Okay, so it's not based on damage, so that's always good. And then the damage goes up and the heal goes up 20% on the books. That's a pretty good heal for an A1, but it's only on himself. His A2 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of filling the turn meters of all allies by 30%. That's a nice turn meter fill for an A2. Also has a 75% chance of removing all debuffs from all allies, and that goes up to 100% with books. So he has a cleanse and a turn meter fill on the same skill. That's a really good skill, really good. And that would be possible to speed tune in Clan Boss because you know what the turn meter fill is. So that should be a tunable skill. And then his A3 places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. So ally protection and strengthen, and it's all allies for the strengthen, so that includes him. The ally protection doesn't include him, obviously, that wouldn't work, but that's a really good, yeah, and that's down on a 3-turn cooldown. This one's 3-turn, so that's good. His 2 main skills are 3-turn. And then his passive increases this champion's resistance by 20 and defense by 10% for each ally protection buff on all allies. Also increases ally resistance by 15. Also increases ally resistance by 15 and defense by 5% for each ally protection buff on allies. If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will activate counterattacks whenever an ally under ally protection buff is attacked. Can occur once per enemy turn, and so on that counterattack he would get his heal as well. So that's a really nice passive too. He's a really good champion and got good base stats. He's at 21,645 HP, 1,200 defense, 2 attacks. Yeah, he's got an HP. He's HP based on both of his attacks. Yeah, he's a very good champion, and I can imagine a lot of speed tunes and things that you could do with him for Clan Boss. You can't make an unkillable team with him, and Maneater would be so good for that. Yeah, so I got a little excited. I know it's a remote chance to win those tournaments, but it depends on who you get matched up with. But 1 out of 100 people, unless they do like they did a little while ago, they did a tournament like this, and they had 200 people in each tournament. I thought that was kind of a dirty one. But as far as the champion training tournament goes, that will be one that I think we'll want to participate in on both the free-to-play and the experiment account. And I've been thinking quite a bit about who the next 6-star is going to be. On the free-to-play, my last 6-star was Armiger, and think I have to put some more skills into it. Yeah, I still haven't farmed enough copies of Armiger to get his skills done. But because he was my last 6-star, he gives us max HP hits, he gives us block damage, and he also gives us turn meter. So he's very useful in all 3 of those areas. And because we were really lacking in turn meter on the free-to-play, I thought he was our next logical 6-star. And he needs, even though he's defense-based, he needs to be 6-star to be effective just because he needs so many stats. He has to have 100% crit rate. He has to have a sufficient amount of accuracy that I really don't have enough accuracy on him yet. And he has to have high defense, and you want to put as much crit damage as you can on him also for his max HP hit. So he's a little bit tough to build. The ability to put a banner on him and having him 6-star is important. So I was looking at this account specifically at the free-to-play. We're lacking one really important debuff on the free-to-play. It is HP burn. So I go in here and I check the champion filter. I do HP burn, and even if I go and include Master Vault, there's no HP burn on the free-to-play account. So we are in desperate need of some HP burn, but we're pretty good. You know, as far as the main other debuffs go, you know, decrease attack, we have options. You know, we've got 3 in my clan boss team already, and then Padma's one of the best decrease attack in the game. For poisons, we have Taragi. That's pretty much it. We would like to get I think we'd like to get a better poisoner on the team, maybe something for clan boss. But then when we go decrease defense, you know, we've got Beardall Fellhammer, we've got Stagnite, we've got a War Maiden if we need it. And then decrease speed, we have that with a couple of them on their A1, and then Adeline has that, and Old Gruckus has some decreased speed as well. And then we've got stun with Slixus and Boatsmith Flannan. Actually, Boatsmith Flannan has the small version of decreased speed as well, and he's got that on an AoE. And I don't know, it's just, I think this champion filter is really nice. Sometimes you can go in and look at your account and sort of assess, where am I strong, where am I weak? And then as you get further on in your account, I think it's good to be able to do this for your affinity, you know, checking affinity. Do I have this on each affinity? Do I have this in each faction? You know, and as your roster continues to expand, I think it's a really good tool. And we do have AoE freeze with Greybeard. We have provoke with several of our champions. In fact, the Terex, the lizard man, that was part of the Wixwell fusion. He's really good also. And then we've got a good provoke with Yaizo also. And those are pretty much the main, you know, debuffs that you want to have available to you. We do even have some heal reduction, and we also have leech with Old Gruckus. So we're rounding things out pretty well. But I'm hoping, and I've been hearing that we're supposed to have a 2x Ancients this weekend. So it would be nice to fill out our roster a little bit on some of these effects. But things are coming together pretty well on the free-to-play as far as what we have available to us. I'd really like to get some AoE HP burn. There's a lot more options than there used to be for that. So I think that'll probably be something that will come. And maybe a little bit more crowd control for Doom Tower. I'd like to have somebody with AoE stun. Although with Terex, we've got 3 copies of Terex, and he has the AoE provoke. And so we could actually build a couple of copies of that Terex to stagger that provoke ability, and then maybe put him in a frost set, and hopefully that would give us enough crowd control so that when Doom Tower starts getting pretty difficult, that we would have that available. I think on the free-to-play account, I've been thinking a lot about it. Chronicler Adeline might be our next 6-star, as crazy as that might sound. I wasn't one of those that hated this champion. I thought she was actually pretty good. She's just not as good as some of the 7-day logins that we've had in the past. But the thing with her, with the 5-star blessing and having brimstone on her, she's really valuable, and I think I might want to book her as well. Unless we get something a lot better on Ancient Shards this coming weekend, I think Chronicler Adeline is going to be our next 6-star. Just because it'll help her survive, and then booking this heal and getting it to a 3-turn cooldown. You know, we get 20% more heal there, and 1 more turn on the cooldown, and I think that would really help us survive a lot longer in Clan Boss, and that may help us to move into Nightmare, to maybe a 4-key on Nightmare. That is probably going to be our next move, as I'm just looking forward to this, because I'm also hoping there's going to be a legendary book at the top of that training tournament. Whether we're going for Corgard Deathbell or not, I think you have to wait and see who is in your tournament to be able to see if that's going to be possible for you. A lot of lower level accounts are going to be fighting over Ugo and Maneater in that tournament, and maybe there won't be as much interest in Corgard Deathbell. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Maybe we'll be able to have a chance on both of the accounts to be able to do that. I'm going to go into the budget account and kind of do the same assessment. Budget account is missing different things than the free-to-play is. And I'm including Master Vault because I don't have anything in the Reserve Vault yet. It's poisons. And we have a lot more poison because of Fenchy. And he's been doing really well for us in Clan Boss on the budget account. And on HP burn, now that we have Skrank, we have a AoE HP burn. And I inserted him into the Clan Boss team in place of Ethel. And he did more damage. I got War Master on him. He's not at level 60 yet, but I do have War Master on him now. So I was able to take her out. So we'll keep her specialized as our arena nuker pretty much, and as our campaign farmer. But I'm hoping to replace her as the arena nuker with Slixus. So for decreased attack, we have Taragi, we have Adeline, and we also have Ursula the Mourner. I believe that the decreased attack on Skimfos, yeah, it's AoE also. So yeah, he's really good for that as well. So we're really good on decreased attack on the budget account. On decreased defense, we pretty much are stuck with, not stuck, I don't want to say stuck. War Maiden is very good. It's just, usually you will have picked up someone by now that has a decreased defense, but we haven't really pulled a lot of ancient shards, and the void shards that we have pulled, we just haven't been lucky with AoE decreased defense. On this account, War Maiden might be our next 6-star. Just depends on what happens this weekend, if we're able to pull some ancient shards. I don't want to pull too many to risk not being able to do the next fusion, just in case it's good. But I think War Maiden may be our next 6-star just because of that. Zargala has decreased defense, and I really like Zargala also. And I probably will build her at some point, but her AoE decreased defense isn't 100%. Even with Sniper, you can't get it up to 100%. And so I think War Maiden, we need to get War Maiden in some lifesteal gear, and to be able to 6-star her, to have her have a chance at surviving a lot longer in our Clan Boss team. But I am also considering that Chronicler Adeline may be a next 6-star also on this. We do have all of her scrolls farmed. We've got enough scrolls to be able to give her a tier 6 mastery also on this account if we get her 6-starred. We also have all the scrolls farmed for Allure. Allure could be a good 6-star for us. But the problem I've been having lately is just War Maiden doesn't survive very long in the clan boss fights, and having that decreased defense up for longer, and then being able to give her War Master, because she has all of her scrolls too, being able to give her War Master, that would help a lot as well with the clan boss damage, since she's our only decreased defense. And it wouldn't hurt anything to have her up at 6-star. You can use her all the way through endgame, in secret rooms and Doom Tower and things like that. So it wouldn't be a waste, I don't think, because she's our only decreased defense right now. So that's pretty much the plan with the budget account. I think we'll go War Maiden, maybe Adeline, Allure. Yeah, and then on decreased speed, we're just pretty much single target on decreased speed. Champs that have it on their A1, or Adeline that has it on her, I can't remember if it's her A2 or A3, but she has it single target as well. We're kind of stuck with single target speed reduction, so it would be nice to find somebody who has decreased speed. Also, block buffs. We've got a Muck Stalker here. I think that's his name. Yeah, we have Muckstalker that has block buffs, but I don't think it's AoE. Yeah, he's just got it on his A1. And it's a single target. So, and then the Sturgis is food for Rosin. So block buffs would be really good if we want to move into Hydra. And then with Weaken, and that was okay. So that was the other thing. That was the reason I was able to move Skrank in place of Ethel in Clan Boss, was because he also has a Weaken on his A1, and so we didn't lose that. Booking Skrank is just going to make him better. His Weaken chance, it's 75% chance if the target is under HP burn, and because he places the HP burn, that will land quite a bit. Probably want to put Sniper on him just for that, just for the Weaken. I think it's worth it if we're going to have him in our Clan Boss team. And then we need to get his crit rate up to 100%. We're still lagging behind on his crit rate. Yeah, we're still only at 81%. And he heals based on crits on his A2. Sup on blood. I love some of the names of the skills. I don't read them out all the time, but I just love some of the names. Yeah, on his A2, attacks one enemy 2 times, heals this champion by 15% of their max HP on each critical hit, places a 50% increase attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if the target's under HP burn. So we really need to get the cooldown down to 3 on his HP burn, because then his other 2 skills will activate better based on the HP burn. Yeah, and then we need to get it to 100% chance as well. So yeah, booking Skrank is going to be our next booking priority on the budget account. Anyway, I was thinking about kind of what the plan was going to be with both of the accounts. And so I decided to kind of go through that and show you how my logical process works. And then as we get more of our roster expanded, then, like I said before, it's going to be, do I have this in every affinity? Do I have this in every faction? And it's really difficult. I mean, I've been playing for 3.5 years on my main account, and I still don't have every faction with every skill available. I'm getting close on a couple of the factions, but some of the factions just, they don't have a champion that does a certain thing. It can be quite challenging, but it's also pretty rewarding when you fill some of those things out. Oh, and also I just thought I'd point out, if you hadn't noticed yet by now, I mean, hopefully it's almost been a day. So at the time I'm recording this, it's almost been a day since it started, but the free gear removal is on. We have 3 more days of the free gear removal, so really take advantage of that if you can and if you need to. Thought I'd mention also, I don't have Skimfos built very well, but he was able to help us get past the Nether Spider yesterday on Doom Tower on floor 60. He does a debuff transfer from his team to himself, and then he transfers all the debuffs to a target. And so that was a really nice one to be able to do. Having lifesteal on certain champions and then regen on Taragi really helps a lot also in that fight, because the poisons just keep doing damage and they keep putting poisons on you. So I was a little bit surprised actually that we were able to get past that one on floor 60. This secret room here, yeah, we just don't have very many options yet to be able to beat that secret room. It's Skinwalker's faction only. Eventually that one's going to be a fairly simple one to do. But I thought we might try and go in and do this one on floor 70 on Frost Spider. Skrank is really good for this, but I'm not sure we have enough accuracy on him to do this floor. Maybe I want to try it. Probably want to have Adeline in there. Yeah, and then Ethel, because she heals herself up so much and she hits pretty hard. So if you didn't already know this, you probably do, but if you didn't already know this, you either need block revive on the main spider or you need HP burn. When he dies, if he doesn't have HP burn on him, he comes back to life with health, and then he brings back his spiderlings. That his spiderlings have a cleanse on him, and it's difficult to put him down unless you've put the spiderlings down first. So then you kind of have to start all over again and run through that whole process, and it can be kind of a difficult fight. This wave is interesting because it has a Siphi and two Torments, so you have to kill the Torments twice unless you block their revive. That's why Lydia is so good, but then, you've got to beat all of Faction Wars before you get your Lydia, and by the time you've done that, you could probably have other options for this fight, but yeah, she's just so good in here because she just blocks revive by default. And it's a long cooldown between that, but usually after the waves are done, you can typically get the Frostbiter down. It takes so many turns before you put the Frostbiter down that she usually has that back. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a time when she doesn't have that ability back. I'm going to target one of the Spiderlings here. We want to get those down as soon as possible. Although having HP burn on 2 of the Spiderlings is helpful. It just chunks down the damage for the boss. I hate them taking the debuffs off of him constantly. So yeah, not having Skrank booked yet is a pain. He'll be so much better when he's booked, but he's pretty good right now. He's been doing a pretty good job for us. And the healing from Adeline and Taragi, that's why I think Adeline, she needs to be a 6-star. I'm using her almost everywhere. And I know you use a legendary everywhere, but she's a lot better than I thought she was going to be, and it's nice having her on teams. She does more than I thought she would do, and like I said before, I'm not somebody who disliked the idea of her anyway. For a lot of people, I think she's really good for Sand Devil. It's just early game, I wasn't worried about Sand Devil yet, and so I didn't think that I would use her as much as I am, but But yeah, her decrease attack where it's just a place, so there's no weak affinity. You know, she doesn't do any weak hitting on that. So she's always going to place the decreased attack, always going to place the decreased speed if it's, you know, if it's something that you can put on. And so I don't know. I think she's a good one to have. And that heal is a really good heal. It's a solid, chunky heal, and I don't even have it booked yet. And then having the 5-star Brimstone, having that protected Brimstone, that is useful in so many places. Pretty early, that would be a good one on Amius. And Bannerlords is one that comes up on Amius quite often. I've been using my Manaya on Amius on both hard and on normal on my main account. So I know that Bannerlords is one that comes up at least half the time when we get there eventually. And I actually don't think we're that far away from being able to do it. That might be wishful thinking on my part. But yeah, so if we can have enough accuracy to put the burn on the spider here, we'll see when Skrank gets his HP burn back, we'll see if he can be successful in putting it on. Yeah, that decreased accuracy is so big because this particular boss puts a lot of debuffs up, and the freeze especially makes you miss turns. And yeah, see the decreased speed, the decreased attack from Adeline, and she's just placing it. So nice. We've got a lot of poison going on this fight too, and then there's the Brimstone. Yeah, she's really good. And that may be my own bias, just not having a lot of other options, but she does a lot of things that you need in certain fights, and I don't need her everywhere, but in certain places where the boss, you know, where you want to have that Brimstone damage. Okay, we need the HP burn. His health is getting low. We need the HP burn as soon as we can. We got the weaken. That's nice. Come on, Skrank, get your HP burn back. You can do it, buddy. Maybe I need to stop doing too much damage. So I'm taking it over here. I'm not sure if me taking it over is going to help very much. I'm just going to choose to do A1s, I think, until... Don't really need to heal here, but I'm going to anyway. That would have risked putting the Brimstone on again, and I'm not sure we're ready for it. Just going to A1. Okay, so he does have his HP burn back. Does he have enough accuracy? No. And it's not 100% yet either. That's the other problem. So I'm not sure it was resisted. I didn't see resist there. All right, this could be a problem. There's the Brimstone. So we're probably going to kill the boss on this next turn. So you'll get to see, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you have. You'll see what it's like when he revives now. Okay, there he is again. All right, so we'll just target the spiderlings. If anybody gets a turn, that is. We'll target the spiderlings. Got to get that heal reduction off of us. Ooh. Yeah, we need a cleanser. That's another thing that would be good. I mean, we have a gator available to us right now. I was just hoping that we'd have like a reliquary tender or something. But Skimfos is good, and I think, yeah, Skimfos would be good in this fight as well. We have him on this account. So he would also be good. I just didn't know who I could take out in favor of him yet, and he's not built probably well enough to survive this fight yet. Yeah, that was a hard hit by the Spider Queen. She has the increased attack on her there. That's another thing that Adeline does. Adeline will remove a random buff and then put a random debuff from herself onto the target with her A1. And I've found that to be a lot more useful than I thought it would be. Oh, so there, see, he landed the HP burn on all three, or on both targets that were still alive. Okay, so he does have enough accuracy to land it. We might get through this fight yet. We have enough support. We might get through. Yeah, so hopefully Skrank will have his HP burn back around when the boss is lower on health. We're getting to dangerous territory as it is, but oh, there it is. Okay, as long as that HP burn stays on, fingers crossed. That's why we need to get Master Hexer on him as well. Yeah, we've only got one more turn to put him down with the HP burn, so it's got to be before he takes a turn. Oh no. Oh no, it's gone. Dang it. Oh, twice now. He's going to come back to life again. That's too bad. That's unfortunate. All right, now here he comes again. Oh, so not good. All right, so now we have to target the spiderlings again. We at least know we can do it. It's not as reliable, but it's going to get better. That's the thing that gives me hope that Skrank is going to get better. He's going to be booked, and he's going to put that HP burn on every time. So that spiderling is going to die from poison. Yeah, there. He died from poison. So I switched the targeting to the other spiderling, which is what I normally do when they're down low enough that I can see they're going to die in the next turn. No need to beat a dead spider. Now, if our timing is right, Skrank will have his HP burn at the right time when that boss's health is down a little bit lower, and the brimstone will help with that. Yeah, I think we'll have it on this one. I think we've got it now. I have a good feeling about this. Ooh, more brimstone. That's great. Okay, Skrank's got to get a turn now. He's got block buffs up though. We need some buffs. Come on, Skrank, get a turn. Oh, he's got decreased accuracy. Oh, no. No, don't do it again. Oh. He missed it because he had decreased accuracy. Oh, it's so frustrating. Okay. One more time. I'm just gonna go to the end. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna fast forward to the end of the fight. So I'll bring you back in here. We lost Skrank. So there is no chance. We don't have any block revive. So there's no chance for us to win that fight. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm going to try it again. At this point, I don't even know what to say. I walked away from my computer. I tried this several times. It wasn't just 2 or 3. I tried it a whole bunch of times, and nothing was working. So I switched up the team a little bit. Taragi kept dying in the first couple of waves. I know that didn't happen when I first started, but in the first few waves, Taragi kept dying to the ally protection. So I did a team preset. I forced Taragi not to do his bog blessing. Is that what it's called? Anyway, I told him not to do his A2 where he puts the ally protection on in the first 2 rounds. Because everybody was surviving, he was just taking so much damage, it would all focus and concentrate on him and he would die. So I shut that off and I replaced Athel in the team with Haikatoon. Originally I put her in the lead to give us the speed aura, thinking that taking more turns would help us more than Taragi's resistance aura. And I didn't realize how important that resistance aura was, how many times we were able to resist the decreased accuracy that the boss puts on and everything. So I was going to bring you guys in and record the last part of the fight, and I walked away from my PC. I come back, and they won. And so I didn't even get to see it. All I got to see was the losses. And so I'm sorry that you didn't get to see, but I didn't get to see it either. So there you go. So anyway, they did win. It was successful. Taragi's aura here with the resistance aura was really important for us in the fight. Anyway, so this was the setup. We were able to win floor 70 on normal. So that makes me feel pretty good. So now I can set them off on this journey of trying to beat all the other floors. Glad we were able to get past that Frostbiter. I'm stuck on Scarab on the free-to-play, and that's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to wait until my Taragi's in regen gear to do that one. So we have, coming up on Monday, I think we have regen, or ×3 regen on Fire Knight, so that'll be a really nice one to farm there. And then this upcoming training tournament that we have coming tomorrow, that one is one that I'm going to focus on and really try and train up some champions. I'm going to go for Adeline on the free-to-play. I'm going to go for War Maiden on the budget account. And then we'll see what else we can do. there's no end to the number of champions that we can build, and it's just about priorities and seeing who's going to help us the most early on. And I think in that case, we need War Maiden to stay alive longer. In Clan Boss, I think that's going to help us creep up. We're almost to where we can 4-key Nightmare, actually on both accounts. I did a test run on Nightmare on the budget account, and I think we're really close. One more Clan versus Clan tournament where we can book some champions and finishing some masteries, and I think we're going to be right there. So I'll be working on that for the next couple of days, and we'll see. You know, watch your champ training tournament. If you're kind of close to the top and it doesn't look like anybody's going for the Corgard, or if you're in one of the brackets to either get Ugo or Maneater, it might be worth looking at to see if you get in a bracket where nobody's really fighting for it. I think it would be well worth putting in some resources to do it. Please don't spend money to get a champion. You're probably either going to get that champion or somebody to replace him anyway. Maneater is so good, and he's good in a lot of places, not just Clan Boss, but there are a lot of other champions that do some of the things that he does now. It's just that he does 3 really good things with his skills. And it's all in one champion. Like I said, there are other champions that can do some of the things that he does. I would advise anyone not to spend money to try and get a Maneater or an Ugo, because they're epics. You're more likely within a year you'll probably pick one up anyway. Probably. I mean, there are epics that I've waited a couple of years on Void epics. On Void epics especially, you might wait some time to get one, but on the regular epics like an Ugo, I think Ugo's one that you'll probably pick up. And so don't go crazy, but I would keep an eye on the tournaments if you have a chance to. And that Corgard, he's really good, and I think he could be useful for a lot of people's accounts. I'm not going to push especially hard unless it looks like it's a tournament that I can snipe. But thank you for watching. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.